somebody's head, what better way to do it than to cross the line? And maybe that's what these fans
No,
are thinking.
that's how you get your ass beat, man.
But they can't.
Like
The players can get mad, and
they
if they
can.
and
But
I've
there's no place for that in the game, man. There's no place for that in society, bro. You can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna get into his head. I'm just gonna call him a nigger.
we live.
We live.
We live. Welcome back to the Opinion Factory podcast, the podcast for free thinkers and challenge seekers.
Yes, sir.
I'm Khelil.
I'm Alex. And recently, I know you're not a big sports guy, but
No.
if you've been paying attention to the news recently, fans have been allowed back in stadiums now. Stadiums have been allowed, arenas, a lot of them but near full capacity. And Diesel's just been tweaking out. Like Russell Westbrook
Man,
Russell Westbrook, a player got injured, star player gets injured for the opposing team, the away team. He's walking to the locker room and this dude pours popcorn on his head. Another one, Madison Square Garden, New York. Dude, in the middle of a pandemic, spits at this player.
what?
Another one throws a water bottle at a dude's head. Another one in Utah.
I think I heard about that one. They
Yeah,
caught the guy and charged him with assault with a deadly weapon.
yep.
Right.
Another one racially abused the family of a player that was there. They were called his like parents called him a son as half breed or something like that because his son was mixed or something like that.
His family?
Yeah. So another one was in Utah. Said like something about I'll put a nickel in your son's back and make him dance or something like a lot of
What?
man. A lot of craziness has been going on since fans have gotten back, right? And my question is
That's
do you
wild.
think do you think it's ever okay? Like I know about maybe 15 years ago there was a big brawl, Malice at the Palace. I don't know if you ever heard of it. But
I
these
don't know what they called it. Was it a basketball game?
basketball game, these players like dudes were throwing beers and the players got up in the
And the
stands
whole team got into the
and whooped
right.
this. Yeah, like they whooped the fans' ass. Like three players went in the stands and whooped these fans' ass, man. So I'm not advocating for that, but if that happened again, man, I wouldn't be too upset
Why?
because
Why
all of
we?
these
Why is
people
that?
are. Fam, you can imagine like someone spin on you, bro.
Yeah, but why would you not understand someone retaliating against someone who's physically and verbally, emotionally abusing them?
Man,
Like, why was it so frowned upon back then? You know what I mean? A lot of sports they have I don't want to say violence, but they have violence as like a part of what the sport is. If you look at football, if you look at hockey, the dudes get wild on the field, right?
yeah,
And so that's just with other players doing what they're supposed to be doing. And now if after all that, you're on the away team, you're at a different city or a different state, and dudes in the stadium wants to spit on you, throw shit at you, disrespect your family, you can't do nothing because you're not human no more.
that's the part I'm struggling to. Like, I would never go somewhere and think it's okay to spit at somebody, man. Like, like I don't
And you're a
know.
big sports guy, like you're passionate about your team. So
Yeah, of course, of course.
that's not
But
just coming from somebody who's just casual about it.
spitting on somebody's like the most disrespectful shit you could do to somebody. Right?
And
I don't think there's anything more disrespectful you could do than spit on somebody.
I can't think of
Right?
anything,
Right?
especially pandemic, bro.
Where
The
do you?
entitlement. I feel like
Yeah, I'm
is
I'm trying to get to the underlying like issue, like or not the issue, like the belief that these people have that is like, okay, now these dudes can't hit me since I'm a
uh-huh.
fan, so I can just act whatever the hell way I want to act.
Does that sound familiar to you?
Yeah, it's almost like the social media, like Twitter type thing going on, right? It's like I got the power of anonymity, so I could just say and do whatever, and like no one's gonna come to my doorstep. No one's gonna come and be like, "Oh, this is you." Like no one can check me.
It was the episode that we had on toxic femininity that it reminds me of.
Ah, yeah, I didn't think
Where
about that. I didn't think about that.
is because I'm of a particular status in society, therefore I can act away towards you with impunity, right? And that's a toxic way of thinking. And for that episode, we talked about it and we kind of decided that one of the root causes of that mentality is entitlement. But I don't know what these fans feel entitled towards. You know what I mean? A game is a game. There's no telling who's going to win sometimes. So how can you feel entitled
Nah, and
so
there's
much to the point where you abuse other players?
no, and part of being a fan and part of being in the arenas, you go like if there's a away team coming to your city, you're obviously cheering for your team, right? And you're rooting against the other
Right.
team. Like you can boo the other team, you could talk trash and all that type of shit. Like that's part of being a fan. That's part of the atmosphere,
But
all
like
that
you
type of stuff.
like yelling, "You're Russell, you suck," like that.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that. That's fine, right?
Ah,
Now when you go into the racial slurs or saying things about the family and all that type of shit, now we're going.
when it leaves the realm of sports,
Yes,
is when
exactly. Like if you're talking about like someone sucks or like like one of the popular chants, there's this dude Julius Randle, who you probably don't know, but one of the players that was an All Star this year has gone to the playoffs and completely shit the bed. Like he's playing like trash. He's playing like trash. So
okay.
the fans are over there like screaming overrated every time he touches the ball. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
Very
that's
disheartening.
huh?
That's
That's
very disheartening, bro.
yeah. I mean, supposed to be, but that's part of being a fan. That's all good and it's all good. It's all fun. You're probably getting to his head. You're not crossing a crazy, crazy line of like calling him the N word or some shit. You know?
Right. But if you want to get into somebody's head, what better way to do it than to cross the line? And maybe that's what these fans
No,
are thinking.
that's how you get your ass beat, man.
But they can't.
Like
You can. I mean, the players can get mad, and
they
if they
can.
and
But
I've
there's
seen,
bro, there's no place for that in the game, man. There's no place for that in society, bro. You can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna get into his head. I'm just gonna call him a nigger. Oh yeah, I'm gonna show him.
I mean, maybe
No,
I don't
bro.
even know. I don't even know what these people mean. All the things that they're saying. All right, the one with the family talking about his son and shit like that, like going after his child. That's on a whole different level, right? But when it comes to like heckling the players themselves, verbally, not the physical part, we'll get to that later. Calling him the N word or whatever other race he may be, calling him the slur for that race. What better way to get into somebody's head when they're on the field? They don't expect that, obviously. Now they're going to be thinking about that the entire time that they play. Even though you know you're wrong, you did what you're supposed to do. You're the real fan. You did what you had to do, right?
Ain't no do what you had to do, bro. It's like there's lines you can't cross. So you can talk about, oh, I'm trying to get into that. Like, bro, you can't say that shit. Like, you can't say that shit in society. And bro, I'm trying to get like you can't do that at a sports game either.
I
Like,
mean, but
you'll get escorted out. You'll get security out. My issue is like all
they
these
feel like
fans. Why?
they feel like that's worth it.
I mean, these guys hear some of this stuff so frequently. I don't even think that does anything to them. Like you racially abuse them like that. I mean,
The players,
I know it's a big thing in soccer where soccer players got racially abused, right? And they now it's come to the point where they just stop the game entirely, right? Like they would stop the whole game entirely. I feel like you'll have a really hard time doing that in the U.S. because most of the players are black, right?
and we already know how
And
they.
basketball and football, most of the players are black, so you're not gonna be able to just start screaming out the N word and be like, all right, yeah, shit's handy. Like you can't do that. You
I
know,
mean, what's gonna happen though?
the
They're
game
gonna get
will
us put it out.
the game will be stopped, or the fans will get escorted out. My thing is like, is that enough? Because I feel like this is happening so frequently. I know fans have just gotten back into the arena, so there might be some crazy ones that are overzealous or whatever.
Yeah.
But what is if you were in charge of this league, right? If you had your own sports league and this shit was happening, what would you do?
To these fans.
Yeah, what would you do to like discourage this behavior? Be like, wow, we're not gonna let this shit fly anymore.
So I already saw the one I told you about, the guy who threw the water bottle, right? And he got charged with assault with a deadly weapon and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not really gonna stick. First of all, I feel like they overcharged him because a water bottle is not really a deadly weapon, and so it's hard to drop that. I mean, it's easy to drop that case. Um, I would probably put.
Do you think that was a scare tactic though? I think it might have just been like a scare tactic to deter other people from doing that. It's like,
I mean, it could have been. I don't think it's gonna work though,
okay.
because once they see that it didn't stick, all right, I guess I can do it. They can charge me with whatever, but I'm gonna walk. I feel like I would probably impose more restrictions on fans in general if this keeps happening. That way, fans will hold other fans around them accountable. Like, I don't know what happened to the dude who threw the water bottle, right? I don't know if like other fans are like, yo, what
You
the
got
fuck are you doing?
scored out. Yeah.
This and that. But if you on your side, right, and you disrespecting the away players, and you do it in a way that crosses the line, if everyone around you now knows that they're going to be punished as well. And now they're going to take that anger out on you and not the players. That might discourage people from feeling ballsy, because they feel ballsy because they feel like nothing's going to happen. Like, he's not going to come up off the court and whoop my ass. He's the player. He's going to get fined, right? But if the guy
True.
next to me cleans my clock, I might think twice.
But then you'll have this whole issue of fans fighting each other and shit, and it's gonna be a whole, like how do you get the? So does this happen in one case in Utah where, like, I think the dude said something to that dude's father or whatever about the nickel thing,
Yeah.
and I think like the other fans called it out and he got escorted out the arena. So it doesn't happen very frequently, but
Escorting,
like
not enough.
you can't come here. You're banned for, like, I mean, I don't know how you impose a lifetime ban on a fan, anyways. Like, there's, it's like
I
there's
mean,
20,000 people coming in the arena. You're not gonna be like, oh, this one guy, make sure he never gets in here again. It's like I can just come in with a mustache or sunglasses or like do something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no security guard at the event like checking for my like, you know what I'm doing. You're not doing that every
right,
single game.
right.
So I feel like
Um,
these lifetime bans is like
that's time
lifetime
out.
bans, but it's
That's
like,
putting your kids in timeout. Is that really effective?
yeah,
Like,
and
how
timeout they can just easily get out of anytime they want.
right. So I feel like the escorting them out is not enough, because at that point they feel like a martyr, right? They feel like a hero. They're going down as someone who made the difference, and
I,
they will have it unscathed.
I don't know if they feel like I don't know if they feel like that.
I feel like they do. I feel like someone's in a crowd. I saw the picture of the guy who got arrested after throwing the water bottle. Dude was smiling as he was being escorted out. He felt like, I just did something. Like, I might be getting escorted out, but he's not going to play the same for the rest of the game. Now my team got a chance
No,
to win.
the game was over when the dude threw the water bottle.
Oh, but
They
he was
already
still
lost. Yeah,
dead.
because he's a clown. Because he's a clown. That's why he did
I
it.
can
He's a
see
clown.
how they would think that, though. I'm taking one for the team. If I can make sure their star player is off his game, I don't mind getting escorted out if my team wins the World Series or wins the cup or whatever the sports thing is. I'm not a sports guy. You know what I mean? I can see people taking pride in that. How do you take that pride away? Have the fans next to them be like, "The fuck are you doing?
But
You just ruined
how do you make the fans next to him do that? That's what I'm asking.
If every time something like that happens, push back where fans can sit in the stadiums. No more front row courtside seats. Like, it goes back like 5 rows now. Yeah, yeah. Try to huckle now. Try to throw some bottles now.
Fam, I do
Good back.
not.
Good idea.
There's too much money to be lost doing that though. I don't think so, fam. You know how expensive courtside seats are selling that on the sideline, pretty much, man. Those like $1,000, bro.
Yeah, you're probably
You
right.
know, there's too much. Like, I'm not gonna lose 30K because of some asshole fan. If I'm an owner or the commissioner, I'm not gonna lose 10K a game
That would hurt
for
the
my best seats, because the best seats, even that's not courtside, the one that's right above courtside, is probably like $300. You
yeah
know, you have $300 of about, like, maybe 1,000 people. That's, you can do the math right there.
money talks.
You don't want to lose all that money.
Well, you asked if it was me, would I do it? Yeah, probably not.
Yeah,
But
you
I mean,
wouldn't
I
lose
would
all that
consider,
money. You said
I
what?
would consider it.
I got, like, what's a feasible solution to this problem? Because I'm just trying to think of them in my head. Like,
I don't know.
from the athlete's perspective, I'm just like, yo, you know what? Let these dudes try to run up on these players, how that dude get taller? I know you can't do that, right? I know you can't just like, oh, okay, come on down, you come to the court and just get your ass beat. I know you can't do that, but like,
Maybe
I
not
don't,
players for like getting up there.
I don't know what the solution is, fam. And
Maybe
it's
that's what it is.
becoming more of a problem, but this is just like behavior that can't be tolerated. And there was this wild post I saw by your boy Sean King, man. And I'm just gonna read this. I it is about the Celtics thing, right? A little bit of context behind this, since I know you're not a sports guy. I know some people who fall apart might not be sports guys or
Okay.
girls. Yeah. So Kyrie Irving, a former player of the Boston Celtics, right? He was about to become a free agent, right? The year he's about to become a free agent, be out of his contract. The year during the beginning of the year of his last year, he's like, I plan on staying. Right. And then through that whole year, it was him constantly blaming teammates or calling out coaches and all this type of stuff that was kind of just negative energy around the team.
Okay.
And then he was like, all right, come playoffs, I'm gonna be that guy that does, like this is why y'all brought me. I'm gonna be that guy.
Mhm.
And come playoffs, he plays like trash. Right? He plays like trash in the playoffs. And then he does during this then he does there in free agency, he leaves. So he doesn't come back, he leaves. So this guy is
Actually,
like
he didn't stay. He stayed
yeah.
for like trash, and then he's gone.
So now he's like villain number one. Right? But I just want to read this post from Sean King. Um so villain number one, I just want you to stay here with me while I read this Sean King post, man. My views about this guy have changed over the past few months because I think I'll just say what he said. Y'all not ready to talk about how no team in American sports is built around whiteness itself than the Boston Celtics. The logo is a literal white man, like the whitest man you can imagine. Their name, the Celtics, is based on what you call a certain group of Europeans. And white people in Boston have always thought of the team as their team. They hate Kyrie for rejecting it and rejecting them. What the fuck is this guy talking about, bro?
Wait,
Yo, what is this guy? You want me to read to
he
you
had me
again,
in
bro?
he had me in the first half. He had
I,
me in the
was,
first half. I'm not gonna
I,
lie.
I even know how he got you in the first half, bro.
No, because when he said that the Celtics is a group of Europeans and it's based around like a white man and all that stuff, like when I think of the word Celtics, I think of the Irish
Oh
and
yeah,
the
wait,
Scottish
which is
and all
which is
those
which is
white
cool.
European. That's the image in my head, which is fine. I
Which is
understood
fine.
what he was saying, but when he got to the end,
It's
where
built
he said
around
that,
it's built around whiteness and the people in Boston have always thought of it as their team.
well, that's all true.
Isn't that how sports works?
Well, yeah, exactly,
Your
which is why I
team
like
is your
you're making,
team.
which is why he's making sense in the first half.
Oh, bro.
That's how sports work, Sean. Like
What is wrong with this dude?
when
And
it
they
came to the
hate
end,
and they hate and they hate Kyrie for everything I just told you. The dude said he was going to stay and he left after leaving a bunch of negative energy around the team and not delivering on his promise. What the hell is he talking about?
I
What
don't
what
know
is
how.
what is this dude Sean King talking about?
If you were white, I would probably be saying something different. But you being black and being a sports fan can recognize that Kyrie and his decision had nothing to do with the whiteness of the team.
Man, I'm not saying I'm sure that people don't like Kyrie because he's black. But all this nonsense, this is nonsense. This whole thing he just went there is nonsense.
Yeah, no, I don't get it.
It's literally nonsense. I don't know what's going through that dude's head, but that's the backdrop around this whole Kyrie Irving situation. And to move away from the absurdity of Sean King, where if there's no we can't push seats back, man. It's just too much money to be lost right there, right?
You're right. You're right.
And that's gonna hurt the players too, because less ticket revenue equals less money for them and all that type of stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah. Too many people hurt by that one.
So we don't want to do that. We can't let
Me-
players fight the fans either.
Why not?
You just can't do it.
If you conduct an investigation into each incident and you determine whether or not the player acted out of emotional distress, you know what I mean?
It's just gonna be
Then we can find them depending on if it was arbitrary or not. If it was arbitrary, if the fan just said you suck when you punch him in the face, you get fined, you get kicked off the team, whatever. But if Dudes was putting a bounty on your son or whatever that nickel shit is, and you defending your family,
I get, and it's the right thing to do, fam, but you just can't do it though. It's just a terrible look for the league. It's a terrible look for everyone involved.
problem is the
You know,
fans are the backbone of professional sports. You can't punish fans without punishing the sport. You know what I mean? So that's why this is tricky. And maybe that's what they know, which is why they keep doing these things.
yeah. So last time there was that big ass brawl in Detroit, fines of up to $11 million lost in salary, 146 games suspension divided by 9 players. So that's like a little less than 20, maybe like about 17 or 18 games missed on the average per player, but wasn't split completely evenly. 5 players charged with assault and year probation community. Like, you go to jail for that type of stuff, man. You can't do that, bro. It's the right thing to do, but you can't do that. And I don't think charging these fans with arresting them with assault or assault with a dangerous weapon or felony charges like they do for the Boston dude is gonna stick. I don't think it's gonna scare anybody
Neither.
either. I don't think it's gonna scare anybody like they want to. I think they're doing it to scare people, but I don't think it's gonna scare anybody.
What we're trying to do is convince people in positions of power to not abuse their power. What could we do? They have the power.
It's not even like I feel like it's not even a position of power though.
It is. Being a fan is 100% a position of power. You control the league.
Not necessarily, man. You're like, it's like you don't have any decision-making power. You have influence. You know, you have influence, but not as much influence as the owners or whatever. You know, like if the Boston
determine how much money you're gonna make, that's a whole lot of influence.
But we're not the biggest determinant of it, though. Obviously, the viewers are important, but the advertising money is immense in there, and all the global partnerships and
to us
and sponsored. Yes,
all
to us, but that's
to buy the tickets, to buy the merchandise.
It's an indirect.
Stop doing that.
It's an indirect type of thing, man. It's like if I'm at home watching the game, yeah, I'm a viewer that helps them, you know, sell tickets to sell advertising spots because like, hey, these many people watching at home, and you got these people at the game. It is, but it's not direct power. Like, I can't go to the Celtics head owner and be like, yo, fire this guy or trade this guy. Like, I don't have that type of power.
You can't. Not that kind of power, but you have the power to.
But that's power as
infinity. To determine the revenue that the owners, that the players make. You know, why are basketball sneakers so overpriced? Because of the fans. Why do ticket prices go for so much money? Because of the fans. Merchandise sell because of the fans. That's all. LeBron James is a millionaire because of the fans.
That's all true, fam.
And they know that. And so why would he jeopardize that? Why would Kyrie jeopardize that? All these other players jeopardize that.
Yeah,
I'm allowed to throw a bottle at your head, but because you need me more than I need you.
But I don't need that single fan. I don't need that single fan though.
But now once I punch that single fan, now the league looks bad. And now I look bad. Now everything looks bad.
But I don't think the other fans will be mad if you punch that fan though. Like I don't think it's like I'm gonna start watching.
Why can't we let that happen then?
It's just a bad look. But I don't think the other fans will be like,
yo, fan. For the fan.
Like I don't think if I'm a fan of the Celtics or whatever, and this dude I threw a water bottle at, if I threw a water bottle and he came up and tried to fight me, like what the hell are the other fans gonna do? Like it's gonna be like, oh man, I was like, kind of deserve that shit.
Which is why I think this is the solution. But let us know what you guys think, man. Comment down below. Opinion Factory Podcast. Well, how would you guys rectify this situation? What can we do that would affect fans in such a way that they would correct their behavior, but it would not negatively impact all the other people associated with this sport? Comment down below. Let us know. Opinion Factory Podcast. Find us on Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you find your podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, let us know. Hit the like button if you're on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button if you liked it a lot. We appreciate each and every one of you. And see you guys next week.